Hey guys, it's Nadine Jolie here and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be covering a highly requested video, which is how I make my game look so good and how it's running so smooth. At first I was like, oh my gosh, did these people see my game? It's not the smoothest in the world, but you know what? It has came a long way. Also, my crashing has limited itself, but most of my crashing has come from error 12, and I have already covered a video on error 12, so go back to that video and check out anything in there that you might be missing that could really help your game. Also, just limit the crashing and the error 12 and things like that. However, this video will be basically covering like my limit on lag, if my game crashes, how I will know why my game crashed or what caused it, and then also just how it looks so good graphics wise. So this video, highly requested, everybody's always talking about it in my comments, so I definitely needed to cover it. So I wanted to start it off with my specs. I don't really know how to read this stuff, but I do know that this laptop is compatible with The Sims 3. Yes, I am playing on an Acer Nitro 5, so this is a gaming laptop, not a PC. In the future, I will build my own PC and it will have similar specs to this. But this computer laptop is like a really good laptop for The Sims 3. It's the best computer slash laptop that I've ever played with The Sims 3 on. I've been playing on this laptop for 4 years now, coming in June. So I've had this since 2020. This is not the newest Nitro 5, but it's not like the oldest either. And yeah, we also did a couple of updates. My boyfriend just wanted me to have as much space on the computer as possible. Also, at the time we were sharing this computer. He was gaming, I was gaming. Now he has his own little PS5 setup thing. But we were sharing this and we needed more space. So he actually installed a terabyte in my computer to give me more space, and he also gave me more RAM as well. So I believe that this came with like 8 gigabytes of RAM, and I think we upped it to 32. I think like 32. I'm not really sure. But as you guys know, The Sims 3 won't kill itself to grab on to more space and more RAM on your computer, so that's what could be causing your lag and could be causing your crashes. But there are ways around that, but there's not a way to take it out completely or like just totally like get rid of that problem, because The Sims 3 is a 32-bit game. I wanted to show you guys and remind you guys what the specs are for The Sims 3. And what I do know, unfortunately, I did have a comment recently saying like she couldn't play The Sims 3 because The Sims 3 no longer works on Windows 11. I think, you know, after Windows 10 it's like over. So if you have a computer, if you're buying a new computer, make sure you're not at Windows 11. I heard you cannot play The Sims 3 on it. So make sure it's Windows 10 and under, because that is the last expansion pack that it was using, I believe. But look, it's all the way back at Windows Vista. That is a long time, okay? That is Internet Explorer days. So you want to make sure like you're not getting the most modern setup, you know, because it's not meant for that. Don't get confused with needing more space, with needing to modernize your gaming platform. You don't need to modernize it. Honestly, looking at these specs for a computer in the past, it was like, dang, this is a lot needed for this type of game. But now if you're looking at it now, you can get 1 gigabyte anywhere. Well, you have 1 gigabyte. Hard drive, all of that. Like, look at your VRAM. It's pretty low. But this is for the bare minimum. So I want you guys to not just follow these specs verbatim, to get something that is similar to this, just like maybe 2 steps above. Because if you are a gamer like me, a simmer like me who likes mods and CC, I have a lot of gigabytes of mods and CC. My CC folder alone could wipe out a hard drive on one of these computers that it's telling you to get. So make sure you up it a little bit. Next thing I want to talk about is getting rid of all of the documents that you don't need on your computer. If you know, like, you know, I have checked add or remove programs on Windows. Basically just delete anything I didn't really need, just to make space for The Sims 3. This computer, I don't play any other games. There are no other games up here. I only play The Sims 3, so I make room for The Sims 3. I don't make room for anything else. Most importantly, when I'm downloading stuff, for example, I just downloaded the new update for Biggest Little Mod for Toddlers by the Sweet Simmer. Shout out to her. And I just covered that video for 20 plus months that you'll need in your game. However, this I no longer need because I already have this document in my game. So delete those. You don't need them anymore. And then for the most part, if you do like need them, like, or like all of these right here, I could delete all of these. I do need this one because I haven't really figured it out all the way, but I could delete these for sure. Go ahead and delete. Delete. Because I already have those mods in my game and I don't need them anymore. And then I always empty out my recycle bin. But before you do that, I accidentally deleted some important stuff before. You definitely want to make sure that you're looking to make sure that all this stuff is in your game and that you no longer need it. And then if you don't need it, empty it out. Another program that kind of helps me out with that is the Razer Cortex. This app has helped quite a bit, but there are some times that it's kind of ruined my life. So this is the Razer Cortex and I'll have the link down below. It basically cleans your game and boosts your game. It also boosts your system as well to be more game friendly. So you could scan it and it'll delete like a lot of like things you don't need anymore. So like it's scanning through all of my stuff that I have and then it'll tell me like there are some things that could be cleaned up and some things that I could get rid of. So I'll go ahead, press clean. It is completely free. I'm not paying anything. There's probably a premium version, but I'm not paying anything. So yeah, and look, it just got rid of quite a bit. And then the game booster is pretty good too. So it will optimize all of the things that are running in the background while you're playing The Sims 3. So it'll get rid of things that will pile up, you know, gigabytes and megabytes and things like that. You just want to make sure that your computer is more so focused on The Sims 3 and nothing else. So this is what I use to basically boost my game. So I'll always boost now before I start The Sims 3. There are a couple things that I do before I start, and this is definitely one of them in this order as well. I will start this and look, it's already really 2.75 gigabytes. To you, 2 gigabytes is like meh, but to the game, you just freed up a whole lot of space. And this is only just like pausing this. So once you restore it or shut down your computer, all of this will go back onto your computer. But this is just pausing it. For example, disabling Cortana. I never use Cortana. Okay, I'm a Siri's girl. I talk to Siri all day. But Cortana, I never talk to. So, and she takes up a lot of space in your computer in the background. So this program just basically takes away from all of that. What I will not recommend is to click auto boost. I've had times where auto boost was on, so as soon as I went on The Sims 3, my computer will start to boost the game. Do not do that. My game would not start for a long time. Like my game would like black screen as soon as I started it because of auto boost here. You should do it before, like do it manually. No auto boost at all. I would definitely would not recommend it, especially if you have smooth patch as well, because I was already like bypassing the launcher. My game was already trying to do that. Plus it had all this stuff disabling at the same time. It was just too much. So manually do this before you start The Sims 3. I did cover this in another video of mine about Error 12, but I'll cover it a little bit in here as well. The link will be down below, but to download it and things like that, if you really want to learn about it, go to the other video. But if you have Regal Safe Cleaner, you know that this is so good. Let's see, what's the last, I think this was the last family I played with. I'll start cleaning it just to show you guys how much it's going to clean out. Just 2%, but the other day I had one with 20%. It cleaned it out a bunch. Get rid of all your cache items in your Sims 3 folder, which is known to lag up your game quite a bit. And instead of always going back and copy and or highlighting everything and then deleting it, it's just annoying. So this does this all for you. It literally gets rid of all your cache for you. It does get rid of some thumbnails and all these other stuffs I have recommended. I have those checked, but I don't have these checked at all because I don't know. I don't want too much off my game. And I always create a backup. Why? Because if your game corrupts somehow, some way, and when I got Regal Save Cleaner, my Sims backup, so basically if you come here to, I'll start like right here. So Documents, Electronic Arts, The Sims 3. Oh, and by the way, I put the Regal Save Cleaner file here inside Electronic Arts. With The Sims 3, you'll see no more cache because it deleted it. But my saves, I only have one backup out of all of these. So if one of these goes wrong, and I have seen it delete a save out of my game because it was corrupt, like you don't have a backup. You don't have a backup to the last save that you did. So, and this is also why we do 49, 53. This is why we add numbers so that we could always go back to the last save or the last one that we cleaned out with Regal Cleaner and put it back into our game. And then, you know, we might miss a little bit of gameplay, but at least we didn't miss everything. I've had generations of Sims go missing because I didn't have a backup and I didn't click backup. So definitely select backup on and clear cache on. First things first, when you download CC in a bulk, like if you're going CC shopping, I 100% recommend that you create a Sims 3 CC folder and you date the time. These are all dates here. So this was November 6th, October 31st. These are all dates. So, and you want to like date or like put like the last thing. So for example, even though this was, I believe this was actually December 1st. Yeah, see, December 1st. I have CC as recent as 10 days ago in here because I don't want to like, I could keep them all in the same one, you know? And I don't like to have too much CC in one folder. I think this is just about enough. What you also need to do is, you see how I have this CC in a folder like this? I actually made a mistake here. So I'll actually be using this one. I'll use 731 as the example because I don't have any of this stuff in my game. Why? Because when I merged it, I kept it in a folder. When you are merging packages, you need to take these out of the folders that they come out of. So I need to take all of this out. I don't have any of this stuff in my gameplay, but it's merged in my game somehow. Isn't that kind of crazy? Take all of this out. And you're going to cut it, of course, and paste it in here. And we can go ahead and delete that folder because it's empty. Delete. Same thing for here. I'm gonna take this, cut. And you wanna make sure you're only really putting these ones with this logo on it. When you have S3PE, all of your Sims 3 package folders, .package files will come up with this logo. And I can delete that. I don't need it. Next step that I do when I have a folder like this is I use a file called Sims 3 dashboard. So this is how it's going to look when you first open the Sims 3 dashboard by Delphi. You're gonna click file up here. You're gonna put scan folder. I put all, and it's going to scan all of this. And I press OK, it's gonna scan. And then I like to use this because it's going to show you if there's any corrupt files, which I don't have. And if you have anything corrupt, take it out. It'll show you any disabled, empty, Sims 3. It will also show you duplicates. And this is kind of why I use this most of all, because I want to make sure that there are no duplicates in my game and that I'm not overpowering my game with, like, you know, if I went CC shopping today, I might see something that I thought was really cute, and tomorrow I might have forgotten that I downloaded it, so I'll download it again. It won't really mess up your game, but it could bulk up and ruin like all the space that you have in your game. So you want to make sure you're getting rid of duplicates, conflicts. These, just because they have, like, it says conflict, they don't really conflict with each other. They're just like in the game. Like, for example, as you guys could see, this is both Rolo Rose and Rolo Rose hair. Maybe the way that she made it, she probably took from both of them. So they're saying that they conflict with each other, but they don't. And yeah, as long as they could have like the same like type of name. Like, you see how this one has an underscore, this one doesn't, but they're two different ones. See, they're similar names, so that's why they're saying it conflicts, but it doesn't really conflict. But you just want to make sure nothing's in the red and nothing's in the yellow for sure. And with that, I don't have any issues. So all of my CC is clean. This is also another way to clean out your CC and have a healthy gameplay. Now, S3PE is that girl. So I would definitely recommend merging your CC to keep the lag away. I showed you in a previous video how to convert Sims 3 packs to packages, and now I'm going to show you guys how to merge those packages. So with S3PE, I mean, I don't use CC magic. It was kind of a little difficult for me to get into, but S3PE, I could do it. File here, and you want to press new. Then everything that was like blacked out will show itself and present itself. You want to go to resources up on the top, put import as DBC, click it. I'm going to add everything that I have in this folder. Make sure everything's highlighted, Control A to highlight everything. And I'm going to press open. And now I'm going to locate my mods folder, packages. Usually, you know, if you have a CC folder, I would definitely recommend to put it in a CC folder. And I'm going to label this as whatever I want. You could put the date. You could put like I used to be very organized and I have like teen and toddlers and males, but I do too much CC shopping in bulk and it just saves me a lot of time to just get everything in that date or like in that time frame. So I'm going to go ahead and put A back into my game because I, as you guys know, had to take some stuff out of the folders and re-put them in so that they could show up in my game. I'm going to press A. You also want to make sure that whatever you are naming it is not like too wordy. Everything in your Sims 3 mods folder, try to limit words. Like, it's like so weird that words and numbers and like special characters could like bulk up your game. So I always just put like a number or a letter. So for this case, I'm going to put A, and it's going to take a little minute to import everything and merge everything. Okay, I'm not going to lie, that took about 15 minutes, but I swear, I know it's a lot of like waiting, but it's so worth it, especially if just waiting for it to merge your files takes 15 minutes, just think about it as 15 minutes less to load up in your game. Still on the topic of lag and crashes and things like that, and how the game just moves a little bit more smoothly, I have Air Trap, Overwatch in my game, and they really do help quite a bit when it comes to lag and just catching things that could potentially crash your game. Like, without Air Trap, my game could have crashed way more, and I would have had a lot more lag with Overwatch as well. So this really does help, and it just really keeps watch of not just your Sims and your game and your lag, but all the Sims around it, all the townies. They're doing something, they're getting stuck. These really do help. A mod I wouldn't really suggest, but like, if you have it, you have it. Like, I don't know, I can't control you. But the story progression mod, it can get very laggy, especially in a bigger town, which is why I usually turn it off, especially like for the legacy. I had it like the first couple episodes because the town was still newer, but now it's like people have kids and their kids are having kids and their kids are having kids who are having kids, and it's just too much. So story progression, you might want to refrain from it, or if have it in the game, just turn it off, or I don't know, people have like different like default settings, like they'll turn it off or they'll just turn it on for people they know, friends. I turn it off completely if it's a save that I really like, because I have found that story progression really can lag up my game, crash my game up quite a bit, because it's just trying to push out so many storylines for each sim. I get like 5 broken ups in one day, and the next day they're with other people, and then they break up like the next sim second, and it's just like, ugh, that's too much. So story progression, I would not recommend it. If you can live without it, live without it. So I believe I have 2 graphic cards in my game. I'm really not sure how this works, but I have AMD Ryzen and NVIDIA GeForce GTX. I'm not sure, but the one that I prefer is NVIDIA, and I have watched a lot of YouTube videos about other people having NVIDIA, and that's why our graphic looks so good. So if you're buying a new computer, or if you have NVIDIA, I'm going to go into detail on some of my settings and some of the tips that I have. And number 1 tip, because I just seen it come up, is that you want to make sure that your drivers are always updated at all times. So right now it gives me a notification that the drivers are ready to update. So I'm going to go and open up the GeForce, what is this? The GeForce experience. As you guys could see, I have The Sims 3 here. It's detecting it. It should detect your games. If it doesn't, I'm not sure what to do, but if you have The Sims 3, it should connect. As you guys can see, we have GeForce game ready driver, and you want to make sure that you check for drivers that need to be updated before you start your game. My game will crash. If I was to start my game right now without updating my driver, like, my game will find a way to crash. So you want to make sure you're updating your graphics drivers at all times. I actually went months without updating my drivers because I didn't know what it was, and like I didn't know, like, I had to. And then I would experience a whole lot of crashing and a whole lot of lag, and I'm like, dang, why? And I would come in here constantly trying to optimize my game for my drivers. Let's go ahead and press express. Yes. And yeah, it would cause a big crash in my game. So make sure that your graphic card and graphic drivers are updated whenever a new update comes out. And the one thing to note, and that I will revisit this when we open the game so I can show you guys my in-game graphics, is that when you update your graphics card, or update your graphics driver, your settings will reset on The Sims 3. Like, all your graphic settings are like, for me, like, it'll turn on like werewolves and stuff if I've turned it off. I have seen a tutorial on Twitter by Acid Lure. Shout out to him. He has a tutorial on Twitter that I actually want to try myself one of these days, and I want to see if it's gonna work. But yeah, Acid Lure has a way to make it not change your settings when you update your drivers. So shout out to him and check that out. I'll find that and I'll link it down below to see if that helps you out. But for me, I don't mind going back and changing it, because then that shows me like, oh, okay, like these are my updated settings. I don't mind going back and changing those at all. So I would like to show you guys this thing that worked on my GPU. Period. It did its thing. So let me show you guys something real quick. And I followed, shout out a Cotton Socks video, watched it, and I followed that video to a T, and it was great. Like, she did her thing, but there was something in there, like there were things in there that I was like, oh my god, you have to be a freaking computer whiz, literally, to know how to do this stuff. And so here's what I know. Okay, here's what I know that I could tell you guys. Here's your device config. If you scroll down a little bit and you come to name, driver, whatever, if you have found 0 matched 0, this could be causing your game to lag and crash. Let me show you guys the app that I used to do that for me. I didn't even have to do it. Like, I didn't have to type in and like do all I didn't have to do it. The TS3 _ GPU _ add-on, and yes, it does that thing. See, look, as soon as you come on, it will already detect your graphics card. So yes, it has both of mine in here. Is this your preferred? Yes, it is. Okay, great. You can now apply this patch if it is supported. Now, for some reason, this app is not supported by my computer. Like, my computer is just like, this is a virus. Stop. But it's not a virus. It's really, really good, actually. And it did all of my dirty work for me. Like, it did everything. So I would 100% just suggest this to do your graphics card match thing, because it's literally that girl. Before we go into game, and I'll show you what I end up doing. Well, we have some things in the recycle bin that I can go ahead and get rid of for sure. And then here, how I opened up the GeForce experience, I have a couple of things here open that I don't need open. For example, we could go ahead and exit out Google Chrome. I have a lot more stuff here, usually when I start up my computer, and I always just right click it and get rid of it. I leave this very limited to how much stuff is here. Like, we could even exit out here. It doesn't really make a difference if I exit out here, or usually I will exit out Razer Cortex if I didn't like Game Boost, because also Game Boost has become like a little optional for me, but it always just does help. But if you have apps in here that you don't really need, for example, like a RAM, like if there's like something that cleans out your RAM and it's like up in the background, right click it and press exit and end that task. You don't want anything really happening in the background of your gameplay, and that really does help a lot. So like I try to exit out as much stuff as possible. Now we are entering the final steps of what I do in game. So and it's perfect because we updated our graphics card today, so it probably went back to what it was before. But for me, I don't do full screen mode because of the fact that I record. If you don't record, definitely like full screen it, like be a full screen girly. It took me a while to really get into not being full screen, but if I use full screen, this will turn blacker than black trying to record. So we try to not get that. Here I have reflection quality, so I have enable object hiding off. I have checked enable animation smoothing. I have enabled advanced rendering. I have edge smoothing off. I have for reflection quality just mirrors and waters. There is an ultra. I don't really have the ultra. Visual effects I have high. Lighting and shadows I have high. Tree I have high. I used to have it on like ultra, I think, or very high, but trees are trees, like they're just trees for me. The draw distance I have is pretty high. High detail lots, I used to have this on 8. I have it at 4 now. I don't know why. These are just my settings. Like some things just needed to be more sacrificed, like more important than others. Like for example, my sim detail is at very high, and this is something I will not sacrifice. This is something that needs to be very high. I would rather everything else be super low than my sim details looking like stick figures. So very high for sim detail and high for texture detail. So these are my settings for graphics. Sound, of course it'll try to reset itself when I do the drivers. So I try to put everything pretty much down. Like these don't have anything to do with graphics really. This will help with lag and will help with crashes and things like that. You want to uncheck enable shot mode. You want to uncheck enable lessons. I disable memories, and I also have a mod that disables memories, which I will put down below. Disabling memories has helped a whole lot with lag and crashing. These little memories, they suck. So I disabled them for sure. And I also uncheck enable interactive loading screens because I feel like my game loads longer with them on. Game options, all that, self-explain. So online, I uncheck enable online notifications. I also do not log into my Sims account because I will get these notifications. And disabling shop mode, like they kind of go neck and neck. So if I'm not logged in disabling shot mode always helps. I also have unchecked edge scrolling. It's just, I'd rather use my mouse than, you know, go to the end of the screen for it to move. Especially for recording purposes. I don't want to make too many mistakes. This is pretty self-explanatory. My lunar cycle, I have it longer because I can't stand full moons. And then here, I usually opt out my active household out of the celebrity system. Never really works. And I always take out like supernatural if I'm not using it. But I don't use the supernatural. I try to take out horses because I don't like wild horses. I keep pets and I keep celebrities usually. Just depends on what I'm like playing. Sometimes I will take out celebrities. Like, I don't mind taking out celebrities at all. But for the sake of some of my games, having celebrities is okay. And because I have, I believe, register mod, I could limit how many paparazzi spawn into my game. So that also helps quite a bit. All right, now it's graphics time. Everybody's in my comments. Oh my goodness, your game looks so good. What G-shade do you use? What reshade do you use? Thank you guys. I do have it in the description, not gonna lie, of my channel. So for FAQ, I put like what reshade or G-shade do you have and what preset, and I put the link and everything in there. First things first, I do not use reshade. I have had some problems with reshade. I know that they're very, very similar, G-shade and reshade, but reshade has actually caused my game to crash. Like my game has crashed because of reshade, and that scared me a little bit. So for a long time, I didn't play with G-shade or reshade because even though it looks so pretty on everybody else's game, just knowing that that would crash my game or that I was potentially doing something wrong to the game, it scared me a lot. But now I've been messing with G-shade for about 2 months now, and I haven't gotten any crashes, and I'm really happy. So I would go with G-shade rather than reshade, only because I've experienced crashes with reshade instead of G-shade. Here is the link. It'll be down below, gshade.org, gshade.org. And this is the preset that I use. It is originally for The Sims 4. It's by Pixel Glam. It's called Pearl by Amelie. And it is really, really freaking nice. Like, even in just this picture, you could see like how great it looks. And then you guys see in my game as well, like the depth of everything. It looks a lot more clearer. And it is your everyday G-shade preset. Like, I could use that anytime I'm playing The Sims 3. There are certain presets that I have that are only good for pictures, like the ones that look a little bit too orange or pink to me. I feel like those are really pretty for pictures, but I wouldn't necessarily play those. For example, in like episode 2 of The Legacy, we were using like the super orange G-shade preset, and I loved it for pictures, but I couldn't like see. And this G-shade I love the most because it does not cause my UI to look like faded too much. That was another problem I was having with G-shade presets. I don't want to squint to read. I don't want to like it's faded or like it's too blurry and I can't see a damn thing that's coming up in the notifications. So this G-shade preset has allowed me to be able to see everything. Yes, it's a little bit more clarified, or it's a little bit more like it has a fade to it, but it's not drastic like other presets. So I will have this down in the link in the description down below. It's also in the description of my channel, so anytime you need to find it, it'll be there for you. I will not teach you guys how to download G-shade in this video. However, this is how I learned. If you are a video type of person, I could cover a video separately on how to download G-shade, but it won't be in this video. But this is how I learned. So shout out to, I want to say it's called Vec. I've been following this person for a very long time, and they have helped me with this the most. And I'm a video girl, like I need to watch a video, but the words and like watching and like the pictures helped me learn how to download it. So I'm going to recommend this one to you, but if you guys need a video, we will follow along with this tutorial. All right, so I'm in game right now. I'm with, dang, she got body, yaddy, yaddy. I'm with Wendy here. Don't forget to download her. I also just got some air trap notifications. See, some Sims are like being air trapped, and Like, these sims all by themselves could cause your game to crash and lag a bunch, but Airtrap got my back. I also want to show you guys how my game looked with and without G-Shade on. Oh my gosh, yes, let's put my girl in the sun real quick. Get her nice and cute so we could see her in the light. Period. Period. The sun is shining on her. So I'm gonna turn off my G-Shade and turn it on. So right now it's on right now. And I take it off. This is what my game looks like. And these are the NVIDIA graphics. These are my lighting mods. These are my realistic clouds mod. Like, that all exists all by itself. Like, these are what my graphics look like. The trees are not even on ultra and they look really, really pretty to me. I could just imagine how they look on ultra. The ocean is super reflecty, but I don't know. It's missing like brightness. Let's go to a different part of town. It's definitely missing like its brightness. It could be a lot better. So here is with the G-Shade on. G-Shade off. G-Shade on. So now you guys could kind of see the difference. Really adds depth to the shadows as well. Turn off the shadows. You guys could see like the little outline really makes it a lot better. I want to also showcase the Milky Plant one that I use as well for pictures. I use most of these for Wendy's pictures and her videos, but look at this. So freaking pretty. It's a lot more animated, like I said, and very like bright, and it really does look really good. Let's go ahead. Where did I put my girl? I put her over here, I believe. Put an F10er. Find her. This one is though a little fuzzy for my UI, so I try not to use it if I don't need to. But yeah, it really does look really good in this world in particular because of the colors of the leaves. Let's go to that here, which is what I forgot to showcase when I was doing my top 5 worlds. This cute little spot over here. It has like a little consignment store, and then right here is like so freaking pretty. Let's try without the reshade. Look at it. I mean, it's still pretty, but like with the reshade really makes a whole big difference. Let's try the one that I usually try, which is this one. Yeah, this one's more for every day. And like, look at my UI, like it's not too bad. Crashing and lag for the most part can be inevitable. And I have things like smooth patch and things like that to try to limit the lag and stuff. And sometimes it just doesn't always work. And you know what? That's okay. I'm a very frequent saver. You should be too, even if your game is moving smoother than smooth. Frequently save as much as you can. If your game takes too long to save, this is also something to take into account of how much your computer could really handle, because a big world like Alpine County, for example, might take my game like 10 minutes to save versus my Highwood, which will take like 2 minutes. But for some people, 10 minutes is not that bad for a thing like Alpine County. In my old computer, having Alpine County trying to save, it will take me a movie's length before I can start playing again. So it just depends on what your computer could take for sure. I wanted to show you guys what you guys could use if your game does crash and how it could detect like. So I use this thing called The Sims 3 CLA. It's a crash log analyzer, and I just recently got it, as you guys could see. I use this. I also have like all these great stuff here in my miracle folder. I just put them all together. But this is a crash log analyzer, and what this basically does is it will tell you why your game crashed. I don't know why it does this. Maybe if somebody knows or can help me, but I get these all the time, like saying like there's something missing, and I think it's because of my smooth patch and probably like retune some stuff. But here is my crash log analyzer, and as you guys can see, my game is not the sturdiest at all. Like, it just crashed just 2 days ago. So it's not like the best thing in the world, but I do have like a max memory use, try to reduce memory usage by lowering settings. This is a crash that I'm willing to take. Like, I'm not gonna lower my settings. There's nothing, you can't pay me to lower my settings. I love my settings, I love how my game looks. So I don't like to lower things, but I only ever really get this if I am using a huge world, or if I'm using a skin that is like 50,000 KB. Like, there are some skins out there that, and some hairs, you have to check your poly count. It could conflict with your graphics. Like, you know how I have my Sims on very high, and then I have like this skin that is going to wipe out an old computer just because of like its poly count and the space, you know? So I believe that the max memory used is the real like reason. This is by like all those big CCs and things that I have that are just conflicting with them. I save pretty frequently. Like, I haven't gotten super upset about like a crash. Like, even with this, like, I have a save just prior to this, like maybe a 4 minutes before. So not even, like maybe 10 minutes before. So like, it's okay, you know? But at least I know what's causing it. Like, even with this, the custom content one, I actually, as you guys can see, I haven't had a custom content crash in a long time. Well, I guess lately. I used to get them all the time. Like, it used to not be max memory used. Like, it used to not be, that's not the reason why my game used to crash. It used to be warning custom content, warning custom content. I'm like, what the heck? I really had to go in and like clean out my game. That's also a really good thing to do to limit lag and to limit crashes. Clean out your game as frequently as you can. Organize it. I mean, coming from me, I know, but try to organize your CC, organize your mods, keep things in certain folders, and keep certain things out your game that don't need to be in there. They also have like things like, for example, if right now it did custom content, I could go and check out why it did that. Press always. Why it went and crashed on me. And it'll have like little like ways to get rid of that. I'm still working on trying to get rid of my max memory used crash. If you guys know how to, let me know down below. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that I was very helpful. Please let me know down in just then. I hope that I was very helpful in this video. It was highly recommended and highly requested, so I wanted to make sure that I delivered. But please let me know in the comments down below if I helped at all, or if you didn't know about something, or if you could even help me out. I would really appreciate the help. This is just what I do to limit the lag and the crashes in my game. There are a couple of other things that I do. For example, a cotton sock, shout out to her. She has this video that really helped me out quite a bit. And she showed me how to change certain things and limit certain things, and with CPU and RAM and stuff like that. She goes into detail on how to really fix this. So go to that video. And if you still need help, please comment down below. I would love to help you one-on-one. But yeah. Hope these helped. If it did, like, comment, and subscribe, and tune in for the next couple of videos. I have so much more coming. Also, very big, I wanted to say thank you guys so much for 700 subscribers on YouTube in literally 2 months worth. I am so happy, and I'm just so in awe of everything and everybody with the commenting and the likes and sharing. I really appreciate that stuff, and I didn't want to do this and now I'm really happy I did. It really gives me something to do and feel proud about, especially after graduating from college and still trying to figure out career stuff and stuff like that. So thank you guys so much for subscribing, and I hope to keep delivering some more content that you guys will absolutely love. All right, have a great day. Bye guys.